Season on the line, 4th and 11. Butka looking downfield, throwing. Incomplete, broken up at the 10-yard line. And Oak Ridge is headed to the NJSIAA Central Jersey Group 5 Championship game.
There's one in the flat. Good catch that time by Ransom. Ransom with a lot of room. And a good block by Delonzo down the field. And Ransom is gone. 57 yards to the house. 2-2.
Swung on and miss. Strike three. St. James Smithtown has done it. They are the 2025 New York State Little League Baseball Tournament champions.
Drops back, throws all the way to his right. Has a man down the field, and he's got him! First play of the drive, touchdown, New York Green Wave!
Sanioki's season on the line. Goal to go from the 2. Kyles looks to run with it. Pitches it to Sip. He grabs it. He's in for the touchdown.
The final 25, and they're neck and neck. Kane looks like they have just a dash of a lead. Salisbury taking first. What a race.
And welcome back here to Great Kills. My name is Joseph Calabrese, and you are back in, glued in, and tuned in to the PDF Sports Network here for our continuing coverage of the 10 and under East Regional Softball Tournament on this lovely morning, July 26th. Welcome back. Again, Joseph Calabrese, immediately to my left, doing the broadcast engineering as we continue the day, Alex Paramitas. And for our 11:30 game here on the major field, we welcome back Milford, Delaware, and they will be taking on Hanover, New Jersey. At this particular time, the player introductions have started, so it is Milford Little League who are welcomed back to the field. Hanover is going to be introduced momentarily. So for the first game that we did this morning, it was Hanover who were defeated by Bullskin Little League of Pennsylvania 15-0 here. So this is their second game here today at the major field. For lineups here, not too much is going to look different from game 1 here to game 2. So let's go through the Milford lineup as quickly as we can as Hanover is being introduced to the field. We will have national anthems before the game, before games throughout the rest of the day. So we had it before 9 a.m., so we'll have it before 11:30. There will be a short break before we start the game. But to get to the Milford lineup, again, same thing that we saw in game 1, different positionally in a couple of spots this time around. Batting leadoff will be number 7, Quinn Albert. And this time around, Albert, who started game 1 at shortstop, she will be behind the plate catching. Grace Kenton, number 4, who started behind the plate in game 2. She will be the starting pitcher. Batting third will be number 12, Kennedy Zook. She started in the circle as the pitcher in game 1. In game 2, she will be playing shortstop. So the top 3 players in the Milford lineup remain the same, but all different positions. And from there on out, it will be the same lineup. Marley Clendaniel, number 6, at first base. She will be batting cleanup. Batting 5th, number 2, the second baseman, Peyton Bell. Batting 6th, the center fielder, number 5, Macy Durham. Batting 7th, the left fielder, number 13, Addison Bauer. Batting 8th, the right fielder, number 15, Julie Mumford. Batting 9th, one of the extra hitters, number 11, Logan Bell. The second extra hitter in the Milford lineup, batting 10th, number 8, Raylan Towers. Batting 11th, the third baseman, number 1, Natalie Ballard. And the third extra hitter for Milford, batting 12th, number 17, Gianna Rivera. For Hanover here, let's see if we have time to start before the national anthem. I don't think we will. So we were going to break here temporarily for the national anthem, and when we come back, we will have the Hanover, New Jersey starting lineup. And we are back here. Very quickly, let's try to go over the Hanover, New Jersey lineup here as they get ready to step up into the batter's box here for the top half of the first inning. And before the top half of the first inning, we would like to thank our sponsors, ShopRite, the sponsor for this year's tournament. The 10 and under East Regional softball tournament here at Great Hills Little League. Batting first for Hanover, number 2, Ariana Jazenbach. She's going to be playing shortstop. Batting second, the third baseman, number 18, Cameron March. Batting third. The pitcher, number 6, Morgan Markinson. Batting cleanup, the center fielder, number 24, Caitlin Hendricks. Batting fifth, behind the plate, the catcher, number 78, Maria Monjovi. Batting sixth, the extra hitter in the lineup, could also play left field, number 11, Hannah Height. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 5, Gianna Del Tufo. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 23, Jordan Johannesson. Batting ninth, the first baseman, number 10, Brianna Kozel DeLancer. Batting 11th, right? No, batting 10th, I'm sorry. Lost track for a second. Batting 10th, the extra hitter can also play right field, number 3, Bianca Barsanti. And batting 11th, the left field, number 27, Eve Phillips. Big shout out to one of Hanover's assistant coaches, Father Jason Monjovi. Gave me a brief rundown of the pronunciations before. There are a couple that are very difficult that I don't think if you know off the top of your head, you may be confused by. Definitely Markinson, which is spelled Markenson. Again, Markinson, it's Markinson. So that's something that could definitely be confused. Little inflections here and there. Alex, to my left, would certainly agree. Gave a nice little chuckle as I was going through that. For Milford, again, as I mentioned at the top, right before the anthems, they came out here in game one. It was a very short-lived game. It was a final score after 3 innings here. The official rule here is a 15-run mercy after 3. I believe it is 13 runs after 4. This time around, it is Grace Kenton, who came on in relief of Kennedy Zook. And with 2 outs in the bottom half of the first inning in game 1, she steps into the circle. Once again, it is Zook who moves to shortstop. And it was Quinn Albert who was at shortstop who goes behind the plate. Kenton delivers a first pitch strike. And we are off and running here. Perfect 11:30 start time. Exactly on time. That's what we want to see, Alex. Of course. At some point, we got to try to mix you in, either later on this game or maybe sometime in the third game. That way you can just get a little of the action in. So it is Jazenbach who is hit by the pitch. The third pitch of the at-bat as Kenton hits her on her right foot. She kind of looked like she deflected that, a little bit of like a soccer type of deflection. For everybody watching at home, we hope you enjoyed the World Cup. As that pitch to March is delivered into center field for a base hit. There's Durham who gets back in. Jazenbach catches Milford sleeping a little bit on the throw back into the infield as Jazenbach takes third base, March to first base. So she's got a hit. And with that, Morgan Markinson comes up with runners on the corners, nobody out in the first inning as Hanover immediately threatening for runs like Bullskin did against Milford in game 1. And that is back into center field. Once again, another base hit. So consecutive singles on consecutive pitches by March and Markinson. That'll plate Jazenbach. And Hanover here very quickly, just 60 seconds into the game here, own a 1-0 lead against Milford, Delaware. So I believe there are 2 Milfords here. Right, Alex? That's what we were saying on our roster sheets. As that pitch is delivered as a ground ball to shortstop. It is Zook there. Tried to play it to the second baseman. She was not able to do so. So 3 consecutive pitches here. Hendricks reaches on what will likely be an infield singer. March comes in to score. It looks like Markinson goes to third. Hendricks will stay at first. So it is a 2-0 Hanover lead with runners on the corners with nobody out. Kenton bounces that one in. Hendricks alertly moves from first to second here. So Hanover has both runners in scoring position. Runners on second and third with nobody out here. It is the catcher, Maria Monjovi, with a 1-0 count. Kenton delivers a strike there. Delivered a strike on the first pitch of the game. Struggled on the next series of 5 or 6 pitches. 1-1. Count moves to 1-2. Again, that letters high pitch on the inner portion of the plate to right-handed batters for Kenton through her first 2 games here has been her best pitch, as that one goes back to the backstop. Doesn't go far enough, takes a friendly bounce, bounces right back to home plate. So no harm, no foul as Albert plays the ball. Count 2-2 to Monjovi here. Inside, outside swing to third base, just out of the outstretched arm of Ballard. She goes to third base, and it is Hendricks there who was able to beat her to the base. So Monjovi ends up on second base. And just like that, Hanover, New Jersey has a very quick 3-0 lead. Batter will be Hannah Height. Again, pronounced Height, even though it's spelled H-E-Y-D-T. Entering the dugout over there, going over the pronunciations before I said, hey, I was corrected. So this is why we're here. What we want to do is we want to get everybody the most accurate information possible as Height fouls that off. Milford, Delaware switched dugouts here for games 2. So they were on the street side for game 1. They're closer to us down the right field line on the first base side here for game 2 as that pitch gets away from Albert. I believe the count should be 2-0. I think so. We do have the scoreboard operator here, which includes the score by inning and the count. So there is a 2-0. Should be 3-0 now, I believe. Alex concurs. We haven't really disagreed much so far. As Height gets into that one, adds a little bit of height into left center field, and that's going to drop between the left center fielder and the right center fielder, Bauer and Durnham, for a hit. Height will end up on second base. It is a 2-run double, and Hanover here, through 6 batters, have 5 runs. So it is the right fielder, the number 7 batter, number 5, Gianna Del Tufo, to bat here. She takes a pitch out and away. Looks like it was in the other batter's box here. So it is Kenton who falls behind in the count 1-0. Ball's fouled off. Looks like it's Jason over there down the first baseline. Count quickly to 1-1. Kenton delivers high. Albert's got to raise the glove up. Go head level to bring that one in. So the count goes to 2-1 to Del Tufo. Kenton gets a swing and miss there, leveling the count at 2-2. It's a big pitch for Kenton here. There's nobody out here. Milford coming off that big loss in game 1, trying to adjust here for game 2 as that pitch gets away from Albert. It allows Height to advance from second to third. Just Height on third base, the sole runner out there for Hanover. Again, with a 5-0 lead, nobody out here in the top half of the first inning as Kenton skips that one in for ball 3. Trying to figure out how the scoreboard count reset as that pitch is fouled off. And that's a big pitch for Kenton there as she gets a swing and a miss. Count 1-2. And that pitch is high, gets away from Albert. But again, not far enough to allow the runner from third to score. Nice low pitch there by Kenton. Gets another swing and a miss. So that'll be strike 3. So it was Jordan Johannesson there, the previous batter, who strung out swinging. So it's Brianna Kozel DeLancer, who singles to left field for a base hit. Bauer allows the ball to get by her. Kozel DeLancer advances to second. Height comes in to score. And Hanover has a 6-0 lead here with 2 outs in the top half of the first inning. The number 10 batter, Bianca Bersanti, one of the extra hitters in this lineup. Number 3 stepping in against Kenton. Kenton delivers a little bit high, a little bit off the plate for ball 1. And that's high and on the inner half of the plate this time, though. Count 2-0. It was Bullskin Little League of Pennsylvania who batted around in the top half of the first inning against this Milford team in their 9 a.m. game. So with 2 outs here in Barsanti at the plate, they are 1 batter away from accomplishing that here. As Barsanti walks on 4 pitches, ball gets by Albert, allowing Kozel DeLancer to advance to third. Barsanti takes second. So number 27, E. Phillips here, the final batter in the Hanover order, batting number 11, takes a first pitch strike on the inner half of the plate, count 0-1. Kenton delivers another strike. It was Barsanti there who tried to take third. Kozel DeLancer not paying attention. That ball didn't really skip too far away from Albert anyway. As that ball is bounced in there, that'll be ball 2. Count evens at 2-2. Phillips fouls it off just to the right of home plate. So the count will remain at 2-2. Kenton once again, 1 more pitch away. Oh, I see 1-2. Thought it was 2-2. Now it's 2-2. As that pitch comes in high. So again, it is Grace Kenton with 1 pitch away from getting out of the top half of the first inning here. And that will be strike 3 called on the outside corner. So good job by Kenton there. She's got a couple of strikeouts there in the top half of the first inning. And it is Milford, Delaware with the same lineup, different positions in game 2 here. Their 11:30 start, coming to bat in the bottom half of the first inning.
When it comes to sports, why be good when you can be legendary? At Legend Sporting Goods in Brooklyn, we service the community with only the best custom apparel, embroidery, and service, specializing in youth sports, so that the leaders of today become the legends of tomorrow. We're proud to support all of this week's great athletes and invite everyone to check us out and make us a part of your team. Come see why Legend Sporting Goods is in a class by itself. Visit us online or call us now.
And we are back here for the bottom half of the first inning. It is Hanover Township, New Jersey Little League, who are up 6-0 here. And make sure I get that correct. Definitely a lot of Hanover supporters here at Major Field. The Great Hills Little League here. A lot of support for the Milford, Delaware side as well. We have a Milford, Connecticut and a Milford, Delaware. So that's important to specify. And again, it is the same lineup here as game 1 for Milford, Delaware. So leading off will be Quinn Albert, who is the catcher this time, not the shortstop. It's Morgan Markinson in the circle for Hanover. As we have throwdown Throwdown gets into center field. Won't delay the game too much here. So 6 runs for Hanover in the top half of the first inning. A very similar look to what Bolskin did in game 1 in the 9 o'clock start against this Milford, Delaware team. Markinson delivers. That's just a bit high for ball 1. That pitch will be inside for ball 2. That ball is dribbled up the third baseline. And it is Milford, Delaware, with their first hit so far of the day here. They went 9 up, 9 down in game 1 in that 15-0 loss. 8 of their batters who came to the plate struck out. 6 swinging, 2 looking. So on a 2-0 pitch there, it was Albert dribbling that ball up the third baseline to March. March did not have enough time to get the throw to first, as that ball skips in from Markinson. And it's Monjovi throwing down to second base, but too late as Albert is able to take second. So Milford, Delaware not only has their first base runner of the day, they have their first base runner in scoring position, as that pitch delivered by Markinson is swung through by Grace Kenton, the pitcher for Milford here in game 2. So the count goes to 1-1. Ball's fouled down the first base side, goes a little over the netting into the open concourse area here. Great Hills Little League, so the count goes to 1-2. Pitch on the inner half, crosses the corner for strike 3. Grace Kenton's goes down looking. So the pitcher strikes out looking against the Hanover pitcher. And with that, there is 1 out. And we have Kennedy Zook, who is the shortstop here for Milford in game 2, up at bat. I believe the PA announcer changed. The PA announcer sounds much younger. Wonder if he's on the payroll here. I doubt that. And that ball's hit right back to Markinson on a little bit of a line. And that play at first, she's safe. So I had to wait for the umpire to make that call. It was very, very close. Looked like it could have been a scenario where the tie went to the runner. That was a really good job by Morgan Markinson being able to knock that ball down. If she doesn't knock that ball, ball may be going through to center field for a base hit, which would have the opportunity for Milford to score their first run. So with runners on the corners, it is Marley Clendaniel who takes strike 1. Markinson delivers another strike on a swing and miss, so that count quickly moves to 0-2 on Clendaniel. Ready? You got to like what you see from Milford here in the bottom half of the first inning, as Clendaniel goes way out ahead. Swings through that for the second out. But in the course of that, it was Kennedy Zook who was able to take second base. So we got Quinn Albert at third. We got Kennedy Zook at second. Runners in scoring positions with 2 outs here as that pitch gets away from Monjovi behind the plate. But a nice job by Markinson coming from the circle to the plate to cover home plate, to get the hustling and sliding Quinn Albert at home for the final out in the bottom of the first inning. So Hanover, they escape without allowing a run, and through 1 inning here at Major Field at Great Hills Little League, it is Hanover, New Jersey 6, and Milford, Delaware, nothing.
K&S Industrial is your all-in-one supply and tool store for commercial, industrial, and domestic industries. A leader in HVAC supply stores, K&S provides various building and maintenance supplies for office buildings, industrial plants, schools, homes, and more. We also specialize in getting our customers hard-to-find items. If you're looking for HVAC supply stores that also offer anything else you might need, look no further than K&S Industrial. If they make it, we'll get it. K&S Industrial.
And we are back here for the top half of the second inning. It's Grace Kenton going back into the circle for Milford, Delaware. Hanover, New Jersey batted around here in the top half of the first inning. So entering the top half of the second inning, it'll be Ariana Jazenbach leading off. Nice job by Milford there, putting a couple of base runners on in the bottom half of the first inning. It was something that they did not do in their 9 a.m. start against Bolskin, Pennsylvania in their first game. In game one, they gave up a bunch of runs in the first inning. Couldn't quite stop the bleeding as the game ended after 3 innings following that 15-run mercy rule. So let's see if the second game here for Milford, this 11:30 start, follows a similar pattern and trend as that game, the first game did. First pitch fouled off the cage, street side there, off the Hanover, New Jersey dugout, so the count moves to 0-1. Pitch on the outer half of the plate, catches the corner for strike 2. Count quickly goes to 0-2. And that is a Jitarian-esque single here to right field. And it's Jazenbach who's able to stretch that out from a single to a double. So the leadoff batter is on here for Hanover, New Jersey here. As the number 2 hitter, the third baseman, number 18, Cameron March, comes to the plate. As that pitch gets away for ball 1. Jazenbach moves to third. Kenton delivers. Pitch in a very similar spot as a lot of her other pitches have been here from the time that she entered in the first game. As that pitch is fouled straight up for March. So the count goes to 2-1. Again, runner on third. Jazenbach, leadoff hit. Single, stretch it into a double as that pitch on the outer half is away into the other batter's box as the count moves to 3-1 on March. Hanover looking for this inning to march on as she rips it deep into left field down the line, and that is going to be just inside the left field foul line. Bauer plays it. She gets it back to second. It's going to be an RBI double for Cameron March, and Hanover tacks on another run, and they have a 7-0 lead here with nobody out in the top half of the second inning as the pitcher, Morgan Markinson, comes up for her second plate appearance. First pitch by Kenton is high, gets to the backstop. March goes from second to third. So Markinson goes ahead, 1-0. And that hit off the end of the bat, and that'll be played in front of the right fielder here, Julie Mumford, as she gets it in for. This time around, just a base hit as Markinson stays on first. March scores. So Hanover has got 2 runs here in the top half of the second inning with nobody out, and they now lead 8-0. The center fielder, Caitlin Hendricks, number 24, steps in as that ball is bounced by Kenton. Once again gets by Albert as Markinson takes second base. Count 1-0 to Hendricks. Kenton skips in another pitch. This time Markinson has to stay on second as Albert is able to keep the ball directly in front of her, in front of home plate. So the home plate umpire, wearing pink. They look nice. Alex agrees as that pitch is fouled off first base side in front of the Milford dugout as the count goes to 2-1 here on Hendricks. As that pitch is inside and hits Hendricks, who will take first base. So now it's Hanover with runners on first and second. Nobody out, 2 in. And we'll say that the coach's kid, Maria Monjovi, again, pronounced Bon Jovi, even though it is spelled Mongiovei. So the Italian in me, you want to pronounce that I between the G and the O. But it is indeed Bon Jovi, like Bon Jovi, as Hanover representing one of the greatest New Jersey bands of all time. And that side banter is complete. That pitch from Kenton gets away from Albert again. The runners advance to second and third. And we have a 2-0 count here to Maria Monjovi. Count now 3-0 as that pitch is high and inside. First base open here. Monjovi in the box. Number 11, Hannah Height on deck for Hanover as that pitch is skipped in for ball 4. So Monjovi walks on 4 pitches. And the bases are loaded for Hanover here, who already lead 8-0 here. Have another water break here for Milford, Delaware, as we have a conference on the mound with manager Jed Bell. The first time that this happened in game 1 when there was a break and there was a water break in between, we had a pitching change from Kennedy Zook to Grace Kenton. So let's see if Kenton stays in the circle for Milford, Delaware. Game 1 during that conference, we stayed with you and we did not take a break. So we will be doing the same thing here. A little bit of an extended stay here for Jed Bell. Looks like Kenton will stay in the game. Got Monjovi hustling back to first base here. So Height steps into the box for Hanover. Hannah from Hanover, you're on the fan. Hello, how you doing? First pitch, Height sees, once again lines it into left center. And that is misplayed out there by Bauer, allowing the run to score from third. The throw home, and we have a safe call at the plate. So that was Caitlin Hendricks getting just underneath the throw. Good slide there. Good job by Milford, Delaware, getting that ball to the plate after another, we'll say, gap hit from Hannah Height. So 2 more Hanover runs here as they now lead 10-0, nobody out. Runners at second and third. The batter will be Gianna Del Tufo. Kent steps back, she delivers, pitches high for ball 2. And that pitch will be low. Ball 3 here to Del Tufo. Once again, for the second time in this inning, it is Hanover who have runners at second and third with first base open. And just like the first sequence that happened like that here in this inning, Del Tufo draws a 4-pitch walk. So it is now the second baseman, number 23, Jordan Johannesson, who struck out her first time around. The 8-hitter for Hanover, as she sees ball 1 here. And that pitch called a ball. 2-0 to Johannesson. 11 batters here in the lineup for Hanover, New Jersey. They're at 8. And that'll be called a strike. Again, nice job by Albert there, who's been very active behind the plate, as Kenton was for the first 2 outs in the first game at 9 a.m. for Milford, Delaware. Count 2-1. Johannesson moves to 3-1 here. Nobody to put Johannesson here with the bases loaded for Hanover again. As Kenton delivers a pitch, and that just misses inside above the letters. So Johannesson walks to first. It is Monjovi who walks home, and Hanover now leads 11-0 with nobody out here in the top half of the second inning. Brianna Kozel DeLancer, the first baseman, number 10, steps into the box, and she fouls it directly above her into the fencing for strike 1. Kenton skips that one in. Good job by Albert playing a couple of these pitches on bounces as the count evens at 1-1. And that pitch is high, bounces off the backstop. Albert alertly getting to it again. Count moves to 2-1 to Kozel DeLancer. Again, a couple of difficult names in this Hanover lineup, but we've been good so far. Kenton gets a swing and a miss there. Count goes to 2-2 to the Hanover first baseman as she pops that up in the infield as that ball had some backspin, and it is going to roll foul between the plate and the Hanover dugout. So everybody will go back to their respective bases. Kozel DeLancer will go back into the box, and we will do the 2-2 pitch again. Following the do-over, that pitch comes in high. So Kozel DeLancer works a full count. And that ball is grounded to the second baseman. She keeps it in front of her, and the throw is low at first. So Kozel DeLancer reaches one of the Bell girls out there for Milford. Again, there are 2 of them. There's Peyton Bell and there's Logan Bell. So Bianca Barsanti, one of the 2 extra hitters here for Hanover, steps into the box here, the 10 batter. Once again, the bases are still loaded, nobody out. Hanover's up 12-0, and the count is 0-1 as that pitch is inside and low. Gets by Albert, who once again gets to it quickly, keeping the runner at third base as the count evens at 1-1. Pitch comes in just a little high, little north of the letterings on the inner half of the plate for ball 2. 2-1 to Barsanti. And that pitch is low. 3-1 here. Ken delivers at the knees. A little bit below the knees, just above the shins though. So that'll be a strike as the count moves full to Barsanti. And that'll be ball 4. So Barsanti will take first base. Johannesson will move to third. Kozel DeLancer will move to second. That'll be another Hanover run. They are up 13-0. Nobody out here in the top of the second as E. Phillips steps to the plate for her second at-bat. Pitch a little bit low to the outside, but does cross, again, just above the shins. So that'll be a strike for Kenton. Moves ahead 0-1. Pitch finds the inside corner. So Kenton, who hasn't done this too much in the game, quickly moves 0-2 on the batter, and that'll be strike 3. So E. Phillips goes down looking. That'll be the first out here in the top half of the second inning for Hanover, New Jersey, as we have the top of the order and Ariana Jazenbach with her third plate appearance. Ball came in low for ball 1. Jazenbach has a really cool pink-looking bat, which matches the really cool pink-looking shirts that the umpires are wearing. Ball skips in for ball 2. Definitely a cool look.
I love it.
Alex loves it. Again, we'll try to get him on the broadcast at some point before his stay with us ends after the next game that we have in the afternoon, which is scheduled to be a 2 p.m. start. Pitch on the inner part of the plate, called a strike. As the count moves to 2-1 to Jazenbach. Kenton skips that in for ball 3. That ball skips in for ball 4, so another run comes in. Jazenbach will walk to first. 14-0 now for Hanover, New Jersey, as Cameron March comes back to the plate for her third at-bat with 1 out here. That ball is grounded to third, but just foul. Out of the reach of Natalie Ballard, or Ballard. I'm going to go with Ballard. Ballard, sure. Count 0-1 to March, who walked in her last plate appearance. As that ball skips in front of Alward again for ball 2. I'm sorry, for ball 1. Count 1-1. Yes, that's right. Count is 11. Kent fires. And that's going to ground ball to Zook, who's going to go the short way. And it is Jazenbach who just beats the throw. So another run will score for Hanover. It'll be 15-0 here. Markinson will chop it to third. Ballard does a great job keeping it in front of her, as she'll step on third for the force. A lot of confusion out there in the field, including us. Definitely looked like a force scenario. What do you think?
I think so, yeah. Looks like an out.
We're going to wait to see if they put an out on the big board.
Yeah, 'cause someone new's coming in.
Somebody new?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm speaking to Alex, who's directly to my left. He has a headset. He can hear me. We have some communication going on. He is not a part of the broadcast, and we can now confirm for sure that that was the second out. So the bases are going to remain loaded, as it's Hendricks who grounds that ball up the middle for a base hit. I had to double check to see if that was Hendricks, but that is correct. Number 24. And with that run here, it's 16. So that on that hit, so we'll reset here. It was Caitlin Hendricks at the plate. She singled cleanly up the middle between the second baseman and the shortstop here. So it is 16-0. We have the score. I don't think they changed it on the board yet. Okay. But we have a 16-0 game here after the second inning. And with that, the game has been called. So it is Hanover, New Jersey, who comes into Major Fields here for this 11 a.m. start. And they score 6 in the top half of the first inning. Or did they call the game? So they took him out of the inning?
I guess, because it's still 15.
Okay.
I think they got the out.
They got the out.
Yeah, I think they got the out. I don't think they scored the 16.
Okay.
I think that's what I
Okay. All right, so we have some defensive changes and substitutions. Thank you for Leanne from Hanover, New Jersey. We have Hannah Height, who was one of the extra hitters. She's going into left field. Bianca Barsanti, the second extra hitter. She's going into right field. So Hanover, with their 2 extra hitters, at the beginning when I gave you the lineups, I told you that they can come in for as defensive substitution. So that is exactly what we did here. So we did not break. What happened was Hanover got the third out. So the score will remain 15-0. For a second, the umpires called everybody off the field. So they convened for a bit, had to figure out what was going on there. But it is Milford here, who they are now up here in the bottom half of the second inning. It's Morgan Markinson. Gets a ground ball immediately for the first out. Routine play for her, as it was Peyton Bell, one of the coach's daughters, who grounded out there. So now your number 6 batter, center fielder number 5, Macy Durham, coming to the plate with 1 out. In the second inning for Milford, Delaware. See what they could do here in the next inning or so. And a couple of outs to work with. Let's see if they could chop off the total a little bit as Markinson delivers a first pitch strike swinging to Durham. So the count is 0-1. Durham pops up to the third base side. Ball just goes over the fence. A couple of cars out there. The netting does protect them over there, though. Unfortunately, March ran out of real estate. So the count moves to 0-2 here to Durham, as she goes out way out ahead of that for strike 3. So Markinson records another strikeout. I believe that is her 3rd strikeout here through the first couple of innings. It's the left fielder, Addison Bauer, steps into the box for Milford. Hanover quickly recording the first 2 outs here in the bottom half of the second inning. As Bauer swings through that for strike 1. Second pitch comes in high. Count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball bounces off the plate. Pretty sure with all the low pitches, that's the first time we've seen that so far in the 2 games here. Bauer is ahead in the count 2-1. She takes another high pitch for a ball. Count goes to 3-1. The right fielder, Julie Mumford, on deck for Milford. Durham went high. They teach you not to chase waterfalls, but that's what she did there. So she swings through that. Full count, 3-2. 2 outs here for Hanover. That pitch misses high again, and that'll be ball 4. So for the 3rd time in this game, it is Milford, Delaware, who have a base runner. Bauer walks. As Mumford steps to the plate with 2 outs. Looking to do something. She's got a really cool looking pink helmet. So we've seen a pink bat, we've seen a pink helmet, we've seen some pink shirts for the umpires as that ball is lined directly to the second base side, and it is Johannesson who makes the play. Very routine looking play there. And with that, we are out of the second inning. As we move into the top half of the third inning, it is Hanover, New Jersey with a 15-0 lead on top of Milford, Delaware.
The Staten Island Ferry Hawks are proud to be a sponsor of this year's New York State Little League Championship, because one championship organization deserves another. Come check out another amazing season with us at Staten Island University Hospital Community Ballpark with great ticket and group deals, theme nights, and fireworks displays. Good luck to all of our teams this week from your friends at the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. We'll see you at the game.
We are back here for the top half of the third inning. We have a pitching change for Milford, Delaware. It is the game one starter, Kennedy Zook, back in the circle there. So the original configuration that we saw to start the 9 a.m. game is what Milford, Delaware is going with at the moment. So it is Grace Kenton at short. Kennedy Zook back in the circle. Quinn Albert will stay behind the plate. Six runs for Hanover in the first inning. 9 in the second inning here. I'd really like to know who's in the house over there doing the public address for the game. We don't know his name. Got to figure that out at some point. So he made a blunder. There you go. Bon Jovi. So it was the public address announcer here who announced Morgan Markinson as the batter the first time. It is not. It is Maria Bon Jovi who steps into the box again as Zook delivers a first pitch strike. 0-1 as Bon Jovi singles up the middle, turns looking to go to second, trying to stretch that out to a double, and she successfully does. So another leadoff runner here on for Hanover, New Jersey. Is now the left fielder, Hannah Height, who started the game as the extra hitter, now a fielder. She's 2 for 2. She sent 2 balls towards the left center field area. Let's see if she can successfully go 3 for 3 in that department. So we have a timeout here. Like the center fielder there for Milford, Delaware. Looks like Macy Durham. Now the question is that I'm posing to you. Is it a cleat issue? Did she turn her ankle? Okay, because there was a little bit of a limp there. Yeah. Alex says a little bit of an ankle limp, so we're going to agree there. Let's see if she stays in the game. Yeah, she's walking it off. Again, because I mentioned this for the 9 a.m. game. I don't know if I brought it up at any point here for this 11:30 game here. But in the major fields here at Great Hills Little League, years ago, there was some work done to upgrade the facilities here, upgrade the insides of the building, upgrade the this is where the high-level kids play on this field. So there's turf that extends just beyond the infield, about 2 to 3 feet, about a yard, that encompasses the outer portion of the infield here. But from there up until the walls, from pole to pole, is natural grass. And there are a couple of little patches in the outfield that you'll see a little bit of dirt peeking through. So where Durham is, she's actually in the middle of a little bit of a dirt patch that doesn't uniformly match the rest of the grass in the outfield. So it's very easy to misstep over there and to tweak your ankle or turn your ankle as that pitch is fouled off towards the left side to the third base coach. Foul. So we have a 2-2 count. Again, it's Hannah Height, who's now in left field. She continues to battle. That pitch is fouled off into the same spot. A little slower to the third base coach this time around. So the count will remain 2-2 here. Hanover, New Jersey with a 15-0 lead. They have their leadoff runner, Maria Monjovi, on with a base hit. She stretched it out to a single as that pitch is away to Height. So the count moves full here for Zook. Let's see if she can make a pitch to get out of it. Seems like the umpire may have temporarily lost track of the count. We had 3-2. I think that should have been ball 4. As it stands, there was another ball. I think Height walked on 5 pitches there. So she ends up at first. So Hanover has their first 2 batters both on. So Gianna Del Tufo, the right fielder, number 5, stepping into the box for her third plate appearance with runners on first and second, nobody out. She chops at it, goes down the first baseline as that will slowly dribble foul. So she will head back to the batter's box with the count at 0-1 as the runners reset and move back to first and second, respectively. Pitches away from Del Tufo for ball 1. Count 1-1. Pitch is a little bit high, a little bit inside for ball 2. What I will say, though, is the beginning of the 9 a.m. game, it was Kennedy Zook who didn't really have great command. She quickly let the game get away from her, and Milford, Delaware made that pitching change to go to Grace Kenton. For the first couple of batters here in the top of the 3rd inning, the location has been much better here as the 2-2 count. Looked like a foul ball. Just foul. As Del Tufo gets a piece of it. Or did she? She did not. I don't think she did either. Okay, there was a little bit of a temporary pause, but it was a strikeout there, so nice job by Zook, doing exactly what I was alluding to. Better finding the plate there as she strikes out Del Tufo for the first out, as Jordan Johannesson steps into the box for her 3rd plate appearance. That was a ball that got by Quinn Albert, but the runners do not advance. So 1-0 count to Johannesson. That ball once again gets by Albert as the runners both stay once again. Similar spot as the first pitch as the count moves to 2-0 to Johannesson. And that pitch will find the plate for strike 1. That pitch comes in just above the letters for ball 3. Almost got Johannesson to swing there, but that pitch just came in a little bit low. It's like a little bit visibly frustrated in the circle over there. So Johannesson reaches on a walk. So we have Maria Monjovi on third. We have Hannah Height at second. Jordan Johannesson at first. With one out here, we have Brianna Kozel, the Lancer, who takes ball one. Hanover looking to tack on a couple more runs to their 15-0 lead, as that is a strike to even the count of one ball and one strike. As that ball is going to go beyond the second baseman, just beyond the infield, as that blooper is going to find the grass in right field for a base hit. So Kozel the Lancer drives in Monjovi for the 16th Hanover, New Jersey run. As the bases remain loaded for Bianca Barsanti, who entered the game at the bottom of the inning. Right field. She takes strike one. So quickly gets ahead in the count, 0-2 to the Hanover 10th batter, E. Phillips, hitting 11th, and then back to the top of the order. As that pitch comes in high for ball one. So in a similar scenario to game one, it is currently Milford, Delaware, who face a potential mercy situation coming up in the bottom half of the third inning, as Barsanti, who took the first two pitches for 2 strikes, takes the next 2 pitches for 2 balls. Count goes to 22. One out here for Milford, Delaware. As Zook gets a swinging strike for the second out of the inning, as Barsanti strikes out. Phillips to the plate, number 27, who started the game in left field. Now she's out of left. She struck out her last plate appearance. That pitch comes in high for ball one. Again, it is Milford, Delaware facing another mercy situation for what will be the bottom half of the third inning. Hanover, New Jersey could tack on a couple more runs. That scenario becomes increasingly more in play here as the count goes to 1-1 on that swinging strike. Looked like that ball crossed the knees, and it did. Strike 2 here for Zook, who again, she has looked much better. She started the 9 a.m. game and did not really have any command of the pitches, and for the most part here, a majority of the pitches here have found the plate, and she's given her girls behind her an opportunity to make some plays. So the count 2-2 to Phillips with 2 outs. Zook bounces that one in there for ball 3. Count full to E. Phillips. So on 2 strikes, the runners will be released. And that pitch will be high and away for ball 4. So it was Phillips who walked her last plate appearance. Works the count in her favor. Looks at ball 4, takes first base. Another run on plate for Hanover, New Jersey, who now leads 17-0. Ariana Jazenbach back up for the 4th time in the game. Looks at strike 1. So quickly, they called it? Interesting. Well, that was going to be the second strike. So everybody coming off the field here. All right. So Hanover will be coming out. So you know what we'll do? We'll take a break. We'll see what happens, and we'll come back from break and, again, do another reset. But it looks like Milford, Delaware will be coming to bat. So we'll be back shortly as we head here into the bottom of the third inning with Hanover, New Jersey, up 17-0 against Milford, Delaware.
New York State Little League Championship is proud to have Dave & Buster's as a proud sponsor. Where are you going after the game? There's only one place with delicious food, ice-cold drinks, games on the big screen, and fun for the whole family. Food and drink specials are available all week with the latest video games and the biggest arcade on the island. Redeem tokens for great prizes and come back often because Dave & Buster's is the place to be for game day and all the days in between. Turn on the fun with Dave & Buster's on Staten Island.
And welcome back. Here is Milford, Delaware. They are batting here in the bottom of the third inning as Morgan Markinson delivers a strike here as Logan Bell, one of the Milford, Delaware extra hitters, number 11, steps into the box to lead off the inning. She pops up to shortstop. Routine play made there by Jazenbach for the first out of the inning. So here with Hanover, New Jersey, up 17-0 and 2 outs remaining. Again, the mercy situation that we saw that happened in Game 1, the 9 a.m. start for Milford, Delaware. We're 2 outs away from that here. As Raylan Towers, number 8, steps into the box for Milford. First pitch from Markinson is high for ball 1. Towers swings through that high. Count moves to 1-1. Another swinging strike there. Towers swinging through another pitch from Markinson as the count goes to 1-2. Towers just makes contact off of the end of the bat. But she pops it up to Markinson, who easily has the ball fall into her glove, just to the right of the circle. And we have 2 outs here for Milford, Delaware. They are now down to their last out as Nathalie Ballard. But a half swing, check swing, does foul it off the netting on the Milford, Delaware dugout side for strike 1. Nice breeze there. Helps the cause. Alex agrees again. Again, at no point here have we disagreed today as the count goes to 1-1. Another high pitch from Markinson. The count goes to 2-1. As Ballard gets ahead in the count. Ballard swings through that for strike 2. Quick note, we did not see the bottom part of the order for Milford, Delaware in Game 1, so this was the first time that we saw Logan Bell, Raylan Towers, Nathalie Ballard, and then it would be Gianna Rivera if Ballard is able to do something here. She stays alive by fouling it straight back. Count remains level at 2-2. 2-2. 2 outs. The bottom of the third inning. Milford, Delaware down to their last strike as the ball is put in play on a ground ball to third base. March makes the throw across the diamond to Kozel. DeLancer and Hanover, New Jersey will secure a 17-0 win here in this 11:30 a.m. game time start against Milford, Delaware. For Milford, they are 0 for 2 on the day here in the games that we have covered here in the major field. Strong win from Hanover, New Jersey. Strong pitching effort from Morgan Markinson. Didn't really find herself in trouble at all. But Milford, Delaware did not really do anything much in Game 1, but they were able to put some traffic on the bases in Game 2. They had much better swings. But But unfortunately, they begin their day here at 0-2. And again, it is our first time seeing this Hanover, New Jersey team. And it is Markinson getting the win in the circle. And a really nice collective team effort from Ariana Jazenbach, Cameron March, a couple of hits from Hannah Height, who entered the game as a defensive substitution in the second inning. So with that, we thank you for tuning in here for this 11:30 a.m. game here on the PDF Sports Network. 2 games down here on a beautiful Sunday, July 22nd here on Staten Island here as the coverage of the 10 and under East Regional Softball Tournament continues on the PDF Sports Network. We hope you tune in for our third game of the day, our 2 p.m. start time. We will be back here in about an hour or so. We will be back on a couple minutes before game times. We will give you the lineups, then we will go to anthems, and then we'll be ready for the start of the game. We have Alex Paramitas with me doing the engineering work for one more game. So, again, hopefully we'll turn his headset on. We'll get him on the mic, and he'll be able to chime in a couple of times here on the broadcast for the third game before the end of the day. But once more, my name is Joe Calabrese. We thank you for tuning into our coverage here on the PDF Sports Network thus far. Stay with us here in about an hour or so. We'll begin Game 3. And one more time, we will be back on the broadcast a couple of minutes before 2 p.m. to get everybody at home, family and friends, ready for the start time there. So keep it with us here for the continuing coverage of the 2026 10 and under East Regional Softball Tournament here on the PDF Sports Network.